Now let's move over to Abuja studios where Linda is standing by with more stories.
Hello Melinda, welcome back to Abuja. The Court of Appeal Sokoto Division has dismissed an appeal challenging the qualification of candidates put forward by the All Progressives Congress APC for various offices in Zamfara State. A three-member panel led by Justice Jumai Sanke unanimously dismissed the appeal following its withdrawal by the appellant Aminu Jaji, a governorship candidate in the state. The court held that Jaji was at liberty to withdraw the case based on Order 11, Rule 1 of the Appeal Court laws, which permits an appellant to do so after serving a notice on the parties and filing same with the registrar at any time before the appeal is called for hearing. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) had earlier said it would not recognize the candidates who were produced after the time stipulated for the primaries. Conflicting judgments had also emanated from the courts over the issue. The leadership of the Allied People's Movement (APM) in Ogun State is reacting to the chaotic incident that occurred during President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to the state capital on Monday. The party's governorship candidate Adekunle Akinlade, who continues to campaign for the president, says the displeasure expressed at the presidential rally held at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abeokuta, is targeted at those who stole his mandate and not the president.
It's 3 days to the presidential election, and the APM is on the final lap of its ward-to-ward campaign in Ifo local government area, Ogun State. The party is making a final push for candidates contesting on its platform and those they have adopted. The party continues its vigorous campaign for President Muhammadu Buhari, insisting the president deserves to be re-elected.
This is a mistake. Nobody from anybody will undermine our collective integrity and heritage. APM is the party. Come out and vote APM. Please, because we know that our President Muhammadu Buhari is a man of high integrity, that all the progress we're doing are the road project. We do not want that project to be abandoned.
On the violence recorded during the APC presidential rally in Abeokuta, the APM flag bearer says the incident is an embarrassment to the president, but believes the displeasure expressed by those at the rally was not targeted at the president.
The one that I know is the road that passed through Ogun State. That is why we put benefit to us in Ogun State. There will be jobs. Thousands and thousands of jobs will be created. Our economy will grow up. People will make money, a lot of money, because of what you see coming. That is why we must sustain this development.
And the whole idea of democracy is that people should be free to express their mind. Freedom of speech, right to express their choice. Now when people feel, for whatever reason, that injustice has been done, like they are human beings, if they see people that they believe are perpetrated injustice, they may voice their displeasure at these people. None of it, I can assure you, was aimed or targeted at President Muhammadu Buhari.
The APM will wrap up its ward-to-ward campaign in Ifo and Ikokia local governments, with continuity at the state and federal levels as the crux of its message to the people.
Still on politics, but this time in Imo State, where the governorship candidate of the Action Alliance, Mr. Uche Nwosu, has promised to upgrade the College of Education in Hite Huboma. He also reveals that the rice farmers in the community will receive mechanized equipment that would aid agricultural production. Mr. Nwosu further promises to bring development to the state and the entire state if elected governor.
Hundreds of supporters carrying various campaign posters of the Action Alliance governorship candidate Uche Nwosu as his convoy enters Hite Huboma. Straight to the campaign ground for the assignment of the day, Mr. Nwosu takes interest in an orphan from the crowd who he promises to adapt and take full responsibility of his education.
I want to adopt this boy as my
Addressing the crowd, he says the welfare of the people of Imo State will be a priority in his government.
Democracy is food on the table of the poor masses. And once you cannot provide food on the table of the poor masses, that is not democracy.
Speaking to Channels Television, Mr. Onwusu promises to upgrade the Ihituboma College of Education, and he also solicits support for President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election bid.
What you see is what the rescue mission has done in Ihituboma. We have a college of education in Ihituboma. We have a dualized roads in Ihituboma. And besides, I'm not only coming to make it more beautiful, I'm also coming to add to what the Governor Olusegun Obasanjo has done. The most important thing is President Muhammadu Buhari. We have adopted him. We believe, and by the special grace of God, by Saturday, President Buhari will win. All other candidates of ours will win.
Meanwhile, the lawmaker representing Ihituboma in the House of Assembly is confident of victory for Action Alliance.
Ugumba is a very humble human being. Whatever you ask him, he will do it. We are known for rice farming, and he has promised that he will give us all it takes to improve in our rice farming.
While the governorship candidate continues with his campaign, it is now left to the electorate to decide who gets their votes.
That's all from Abuja. Back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Linda. It's not only in the political space that agreements have been signed. In the business world, agreements have also been signed as well, and Anne will be telling us some of them on Business News.
You First. First Bank.
That's very true, Melinda. Thank you so much for joining us on Business News. West African Ventures Limited, one of the major players in the Nigeria's oil and gas industry, and the Sea Trucks Group, a British Virgin Island company, have signed a settlement agreement to end a protracted commercial dispute. At a signing ceremony in Lagos, witnessed by the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content and Monitoring Board, the Managing Director of West African Ventures, Mr. Michael Amashike, explains that with all the disagreements resolved, the company is poised to continue as a leading indigenous provider.
The arrival of parties concerned in the resolution of the protracted commercial dispute between West African Ventures Limited, a Nigerian company, and Sea Trucks Group Limited, a British Virgin Island company. After some years in court, both within and outside Nigeria, the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIMS, and the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, stepped in and facilitated a commercial settlement rather than a legal resolution between the parties.
So I'm very glad that we have pushed this through, and today we are here to witness this signing ceremony.
With a binding settlement agreement reached between WAV and STG on the 13th of November 2018, which among other things provides an agreed allocation of vessels which were previously disputed by both parties, it's time to put pen to paper to seal the deal.
We are very, very grateful that we are here today, and myself, I'm shaking hands with my former colleague, Fraser Moore. What we have on the ground as West African Ventures is a system that is built with a focus on delivery of services to the oil industry.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board assures all investors in the oil and gas industry, particularly foreign investors, of the safety of their investments.
The message out there is that you come and invest here, you probably lose your investment because you will not be protected. Be rest assured that regulatory agencies like NCDMB will be out there to protect whatever investment that comes into this country.
With the achievement of this settlement, West African Ventures Limited promises better services going forward.
We want to consolidate with all the investments we've made here, all the assets that are in our possession. We intend to deploy that as we normally would do to assist the oil and gas industry.
West African Ventures Limited has its corporate headquarters in Lagos, marine support base and shipyard at Warri, as well as its dry dock and fabrication facilities in Onne, Rivers State.
Capital inflow to Nigeria decreased by $2.14 billion in the fourth quarter of last year, and that's according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The latest data coming from the NBS shows a 25.05% drop from the $2.85 billion inflow recorded in the third quarter of last year. However, total full-year value of capital inflow grew by 37.49% to $16.81 billion year-on-year last year. Analysts have attributed the drop in the recent withdrawal of portfolio investors from the country. Renewed sell pressure in some high-valued stocks at the Nigerian stock market has halted an 8-day winning streak in the market. His midweek trading session has ended with mixed performance. Let's hear more from Teniola Shibowale.
Thanks, Anne. Investors booked some profit on Nigerian stocks today after a roaring performance of the bourse since the beginning of February, in which the all-share index had gained more than 4%. The general index was down 0.15%, but holding within the new 32,000 level reached on Tuesday, and the value of all listed securities just above the new 12 trillion naira mark. Taking most of the hit on Wednesday were 3 out of the 5 major sectors. Oil and gas was down 2.24%, no thanks to losses by Seplat and Forte Oil, while the banking sector index pulled back by 1.79%. But despite the decline in the sector index, 3 of the listed lenders led the session as top traders Diamondback, Zenith and UBA in that order. Looking at the primary indicators, midweek trading was strong in volume, value and transaction terms. Investors exchanged 471 million shares for 4.24 billion naira in nearly 6,000 deals, taking the third trading day of the week to an active close. And that's it on the stock market report today. I'm Teniola Shibowale. Back to you, Anne.
Thank you, Teniola. Well, it's a different picture for U.S. stock markets. They have ended today's trading session higher for a second day, and more optimism that the Trump administration and the Chinese trade authorities will reach an agreement before a deadline in March. But let's find out how other markets ended today. Thank you for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Melinda.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10. Flying Eagles of Nigeria missed the finals of the 8th Under-20 AFCON title after losing 4-3 on penalty Somali in the semi-final. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.